Oasis Audio presents The Mind of Terror by Tass Saada with Dean Merrill. Read for you by Prentice. Part 1. Inside the Terrorist Mindset. Chapter 1. No Place to Hide. The moment the first plane hit the World Trade Center, I knew. Stunned eyewitnesses and newscasters wondered if there had been a terrible breakdown in air traffic control. But I knew without a doubt that radical Islam had come to the United States. For the previous 9 months, God had been impressing upon me that I should travel, share my testimony, and warn people that Islamic extremism was at our doorstep. I had spoken to large congregations and to small groups in living rooms. I have to admit that not many listeners took me seriously. Most thought it could never happen here. Then came September 11th. All the false security disappeared. Within hours, it became known that the hijackers were Middle Eastern Muslims. And here I was, an Arab living in the United States. If you think you were shocked and distraught that day, you should have been in my shoes. What will happen to us? I worried. How will this affect my wife, our 2 children? What do our friends think about us now? They all know that I come from a Muslim background. In fact, the FBI probably has that figured out too. For the next few days, I didn't want to talk to a lot of people. I was too angry and upset over how this would disrupt my life and the safety of my family. I secluded myself, just watching the non-stop news on TV. I couldn't figure out how to react, what to say. Near the end of that week, I had to go on a speaking trip, leaving my family at home in Northeast Missouri, where we served with Heartland Ministries, a Christian farm and school for troubled teens and adults with addiction issues. While I was away, sure enough, the FBI came knocking. Not finding me, the agent from nearby Kirksville interrogated Karen, my wife, and Farah, our 24-year-old daughter. He spent a half hour asking who I was, what I did, what my connections were. Then came the bombshell. Mrs. Abu Saada, we've had a report that your husband is friends with Osama bin Laden. Karen gasped, then laughed nervously. Really? Yes, the agent said soberly. Is that true? Karen shook her head and began to explain. More than 35 years ago, when Tass was a boy, his father did business with Mohammed bin Laden, Osama's father, back in Saudi Arabia. Tass's father had an auto body repair shop, and he used to fix the bin Laden cars. So, yes, the boy came along to the shop one day, and they met. But that was all.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?